You're listening to The Big Possible Show with your host, Noah Scott. It's time to break through the limits and achieve all you can imagine. All you can imagine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Big Possible Show. This is Noah Scott signing on with another incredible guest today. Today, we have Mustafa Ammar. Mustafa is a transformative career coach. He's an author and the founder of Passion MBA. Mustafa has an impressive array of professional experiences ranging from, this is why I love having him on the show. He's been a pharmacist, a diplomat, an investment banker, and the diversity of all these experiences led him to develop a very unique approach to, career transitions, challenging the traditional idea of specialization and emphasizing the power of passion-driven career paths. Mustafa, your coaching, your method, it's all in the book, The Passion Project, that's just came out. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time to be here. How are you?
Hello, Noah. It's nice being with you today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, fantastic. So, it's fascinating to hear the journey. And so when you look back now, would you sort of be able to describe in a very high level what the path of your life has been and what you are now?
Yeah, it's going back more than 20 years ago and just, thinking through the journey. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Like, it was really, very random thoughts. And I recall when I was 16 years old and I really had to decide, what's my next big step in my career, my specialization. And at that time, I didn't have, any idea what I really want to do. And I thought maybe diving deeper into my passions in terms of the subject that I would enjoy studying. And that was the easy answer for me. Okay, that's chemistry. Even though if I don't see myself as a pharmacist in the future, but why not enjoying, a few years of studying something you're really passionate about? And let's see. To cut the story short, for 5 more years studying chemistry, all types of chemistry, I thought by just graduating that, I enjoyed chemistry so much, but I don't want to do this anymore. And then since then, I started a journey of just rediscovering myself several times. I thought I would do diplomacy for some time. Diplomacy career is it's quite hard, interesting, but quite hard. In order to be a diplomat, you run for a competition. It's a national contest, which, more than 2,000 people would be there. At the end, you take 20 or 30. And slowly, I started building, those skills of, knowing what I really want to do, how to learn new skills quickly, how to trust yourself, how to build confidence, how to pivot. And it moved with me in all career transitions. So, of course, we're going to discuss some of them as well today.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating because, I've been a big advocate of the book Range. I'm sure you've heard of this. It's probably had a lot of influence on you. And, for my whole life, I used to always feel like a bit of shame because I was one of these people who bounced around from, I changed my major 4 times in college. Could never keep. I started like 7 businesses in my 20s that were all different fields, and I picked up all these skills. And I was, as I'm hitting my 30s, I'm realizing like I am this jack of all trades. And when I'm trying to apply for jobs, they're like, what's your thing? And I'm like, I do a lot of things, And so in your work, you kind of challenge that traditional idea of career specialization. What do you say to the skeptics who believe that the path to success is being an expert in one specific field?
I would answer your question in 2 parts. The first part is that I took a long time to realize, the power of being a polymath or what I call it a career shapeshifter compared to a specialist. I moved to diplomacy and I thought the time I spent in my, pharmacy career, even studying or working, is a sunk cost. Is something like I would never, benefit in my life. I moved to investment banking after 10 years of diplomacy, and I thought the same. But spending enough time, in different domains and being able to connect, having dots and connecting them was the magic. And also you mentioned Range. Range is a very, very interesting book. David Epstein is really a magical guy who spent a lot of time on the power of polymathy. A lot of other people too did, especially on the academic side. And now driving my practical experience, going back and trying to connect the dots backwards, I see that all the experiences were never, I would say, a sunk cost. I would just give an example for you. I studied pharmacy and chemistry for 5 years of my life, and I thought I will never use that anymore. To my surprise, I moved to China 7 years after that time, and I started learning Mandarin. Learning Mandarin was a completely different language from any other language. We know the rules are different, speaking in tones, there are characters, drawings, To my surprise, reading and write characters wasn't difficult at all. It was very easy for me. I didn't know why. At that time, I didn't know why. I think until like 5, 6, 7 years later, I started learning about analogical thinking. And if you have a former experience, how you can drive on a new experience and how you can bring all those skills using them. And knowing that, I realized that why I learned very fast writing and reading Mandarin it was because of my organic chemistry skill. So drawing an organic compound, you draw from left to right, from up to down. There are always a logic in the endings of every one of those organic compounds. So if you put an ending, it means something in the effect of a compound. And the same applies to Chinese. So you draw from left to right, from up to down, and endings mean something, whether it's a meaning, whether it's pronunciation or so. So realizing this, it meant a lot to me, is that your expertise, your experiences will never go away. They will stay with you wherever you are. And you can, transition your skills in many different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny because I'm looking back as I'm listening and I'm like, okay, I can see all the times that I started something. I'm like, oh, that was a sunk cost. And then 10 years later, it comes back and I'm on a project. I'm like, wait a second, I can use this in this project. So yeah, it's totally true. But let's shift gears and talk about passion. I mean, this is a big part of your now your gospel to a certain degree.
Exactly.
You put an emphasis on passion. Can sometimes passion be a trap? Maybe leading individuals to chase careers that aren't financially stable. Oftentimes we see that archetype of the struggling artist or the actor in Hollywood who spends 2 decades chasing this dream that never turns to money. Well, what's your argument there?
Well, let me share with you an analog here. Let's imagine, for example, for the sake of argument, we are driving our car together from New York to San Francisco. I assume this will take a few days. And I assume we will need 3 essential elements in the journey. So we'll need enough gas, to take us along the journey. We need a GPS, because without a GPS, you'll get lost. And you need a final destination, where exactly you want to head. We're in San Francisco. So without enough gas, you'll run out of gas somewhere in the middle, you'll stop, you'll never be able to continue the journey. And without a GPS tracker, you'll get lost hundreds of times in the middle. Hopefully, you will not even get there. The final is without not having a GPS, it's very, very important having an address in that GPS. So let's apply this to your life, to your career. Enough gas means enough passion. If you don't have enough passion for whatever you're doing, you'll run out of gas somewhere in the middle. You'll really run out of passion in the middle. Your values are your GPS tracker. So that GPS is those values are able to help you along the way to, reach your final destination. And a final destination, most of the people do these mistakes. They don't imagine an ideal lifestyle for them. Where I want to see my ideal lifestyle, how I want to spend my ideal day, my ideal weekend. Do you want to work 7 days a week? Do you want to work, 3 days a week? How I want to see myself? Do you want to work at home, from home, or somewhere else? So having an idea what your passions are, at least the top 5 passions, and then the core 5 values, and then driving or drawing ideal lifestyle, and trying to link those three circles somewhere in the middle. This is where you want to be. And I would call this as your zone of genius. So passion itself maybe is not enough. What you need to have is a blueprint for that passion. And that blueprint is linking your passions with your values, with an ideal vision, with your skill sets, knowing the gaps in your skills as well, and building a blueprint.
I love that. It puts a new spin on that whole ikigai thing. It makes it a little bit more personal, which is essential. And when you can actually identify with that, it makes it a little bit more exciting too, because now this is custom built for me. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so let's keep going in terms of practical side of it. So we figured out what our sort of passion is, but again, like how does that turn into something that is like a perfect fit in a career? And also, like, you can see if as the passion changes over time, what do you do when that happens?
Again, passion itself by itself is not enough. So passion can translate into your values as well. And I'll give example of people I'm working with, some of the clients I'm working with. The process showed that one of the big passions is agriculture in general. Like, it's seeing farmlands, like just spending some time in farms, for example. And then if you go to values, you will see the idea of eating organic, being healthy, so the passion translates in many different dimensions. And this is where I can build something around this. So I need to dive deeper into my passions, knowing why they are happening. I normally ask people to write, to journal about their passions and seek behind the why I like it, why I feel I'm enjoying it. So that's one side. If you see it transcends to your values, and if you see spending more time on it would make you feel better, then that's a good start. I normally ask people when they have, for example, top 2 or 3 passions, is to spend some time on understanding those passions. I will take a few weeks, give a few recommendations of books and reads where you want to explore yourself a bit. If, for example, as marketing has become a passion for me, so, I go out and I find 3 top sellers selling books about marketing, and I start reading. And then by reading, you would explore yourself more in a practical way. Along the process, you will see yourself heading toward the passion very organically, very naturally, toward the passions that really are rooted inside you. And then you would get more ideas about how to translate that into a business, or how to build a few skills related to that passion that I can, benefit from in my future work.
Incredible. Yeah. So I'd love to address some of the things that happen when passion runs dry. Because especially if you have a big dream and a big goal, and the gap from where you are to where you want to be is exceptionally large at times.
Yeah.
And the passion might get you, a big start at the beginning. And maybe when you're starting to get progress and momentum, it'll fuel you to get going. But during those moments on the journey where you're in you've got the GPS and it's saying you're going in the right direction, but it's just boring and it's hard. And it's like, every day you wake up and it's like this Groundhog Day because you're sacrificing a lot from some of the other things you do. Yeah. How do you navigate that? And if there was a time in your life that maybe you were experiencing something like that, I'd love to hear what was going through your head at the time and how you persevered.
Sure. So, if I can define passions in a different way, I would say passions are the seeds that God implants in your heart to figure out your life purpose. Passions choose you; you don't choose them. So we could have endless numbers of passions, but still the question is which ones I would really pursue and make sure they are the one in my blueprint that help me to get to my dream career or pursue a life purpose. Another fact that maybe people, don't get enough is that your passions shift and change over time. As you say, get dry. And it's very normal. Like it's something me and you were passionate about 10 years ago. We are not passionate about anymore. So it's very, very normal and very natural that after maybe 5 years of spending time and effort in building a business that I'm passionate about is that I'm shifting. Actually, I don't want to do this anymore. I had some passion in banking, investing in private equity and, helping infrastructure investment. But right now I have more passion in helping people to find their dream career than the past. So the right answer would be knowing when to quit and when to persist. If you build enough roots around your passions, values, build a vision, no matter what kind of adversity you will meet in the future and you will face, you are able to navigate. I'm in this process right now. So I'm building an online platform. It's a startup. I'm in this process for some time. It's very damn hard. And sometimes I'm talking to myself, what the hell did I do to myself? It's like really hard. But as long as I still have a lot of gas that I'm, using, and I see that is hopefully linking me to a life purpose where I can help as many people as I could to find their dream career. I still have the fuel, I still have the power to do it. Sometimes spending more time on this will translate into I'm enough of this. And when you are enough of this, it's fine to know that your passion shifts and change. And I would assume that you should start refiguring your passions again.
Yeah, beautiful. And I'd like to ask a little bit about what your relationship with risk taking is, because I often, to go the path least traveled, it requires a lot of risk. You have to let go of the security, maybe it's job security, or to pursue something that may or may not be fulfilling immediately. But how do you navigate risk, and how do you tell your clients to stay the course when things do get scary?
What I really do with myself or with my clients is focus on building a plan. Because just jumping in the ocean without any plan is the worst thing and the most stupid thing anybody could do. So the first question is asking yourself, for example, if I resign today and I don't have any other financial resources, any other income, how long I can sustain without any income? That's one thing. I would take people, after we do this, the passion blueprint exercise, and after knowing what are our passions and then devising a plan, we will put 6 month to 1 year plan. And I don't advise anybody to leave his or her job in the beginning. And what we normally do is create a few goals, small, quick wins on a weekly basis. The more you do, the more you're going out of your comfort zone, and the more you take very, very small risks along the way. And a few breakthrough goals along the way will help you to figure out that, okay, I'm on the right track. I've been building connections over the last 6 months, for example. Many of the new connections are helping me to learn a new skill, or, to get a referral to a business, or to get a connection with somebody. On the other side, I'm building, for example, top 3 skills that I need in my new business. And I could see the confidence that I'm building in that. In the new world is that all what you need is skills, and now skills are very efficiently and very easy can be built. Like, boot camps, you can build a skill over a few weeks, and then build on that. So I would advise anybody not to take huge risk, build a plan, be sure of what you really want to, where you want to head, and build a plan for that, and take every single day one small step toward that goal.
Fantastic. All right, well, cool. Well, let's bring us home with one final question, really just about the practical way. I want this to be a nice practical thing. So how would you suggest, and this could be something that you found in your life, to be exponentially helpful in making
Yeah.
reaching for dreams effortless. For example,
Yeah.
in my life, I found, hiring a virtual assistant has just changed the game for me. So I'll let you sort of take this away, practical thing people can do to eliminate
Yeah.
effort and make things more fun as they reach for their dream.
It's something I learned from Jack Canfield. He's a mentor and is somebody I work with in the last 4 years. It's the rule of five. And the rule of five means you need to do 5 things every single day, reach to your big goal. Just give an example. So my book, Time to Move On, which out last month, every single day I'm doing 5 things to market the book, to speak about the book, to raise awareness about the book, share content about the book. So the idea of the rule of 5 is that, first of all, you're consistent. So every single day you do an action. If you have a small team, like I have my assistant, she's doing the rule of 5 as well. So we are kind of, doing 10 things every single day. I have other part-timers who are doing the rule of 5. So it's magnifying the effect. Also, when you keep writing those 5 things every single day and sharing with the group that you're working with, it adds up, because every single day you have to be innovative in approaching your goal. So I cannot just keep repeating the same 5 things and expect, new results. So every single day I have to, okay, I did this week, this and this and this. I have to find a new way to do so. So what I would advise, rule of 5, write down every single day. If you have your team members, encourage them to write 5 things every single day. Share with them, because you can educate each other what you really are doing toward reaching your goal.
Beautiful. Love it. Fantastic. So Mustafa, how does everyone stay in touch with you, and how do we, get your latest book and stay in touch?
Thank you, Noah. So thepassionmba.com is my website. Also mustafaammar.com, Mustafa, M-U-S-T-A-F-A, Ammar, A-M-M-A-R.com. The book is available on the website, and also it's on Amazon as well. Time to Move On. And I'm speaking about the 7 career myths that people should bust before finding their dream career.
Epic. Awesome. So Mustafa, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Noah. Pleasure speaking with you.
That's it for this episode of The Big Possible Show. This is Noah Scott signing out to let you know I appreciate you for being here. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode and want to share some feedback, visit Apple and drop a review. That review will help other people find the show, and it also gives me a signal that, hey, people are out there listening. And with that, may the rest of your day be filled with epic adventures. And I'll see you right here for the next episode.